What up, what up, what up? It's your homeboy B Watt, and you are now tuned into another episode of Cancel B Watt. And first and foremost, I would like to thank each and every one of you for rocking with your boy today. Thank you for checking out this video, all right? So let's get into it. In this video, I'm going to be discussing Dr. Umar Johnson's comments on Candace Owens, okay? I hate the term conspiracy theory, but I'm going to use it a bunch probably in this episode, all right? The term conspiracy theory was created by the CIA and the government, you know what I'm saying, after the JFK assassination, because American people were thinking critically about what happened, and they were having some questions, all right? And so the CIA, the government, whoever, propaganda, they coined the term conspiracy theory to discourage us from thinking critically or analyzing, okay? So we're going to do the opposite of that, all right? So I'm gonna teach y'all how to research just a little bit, all right? Y'all can research this topic with me, all right, because I'm interested in it. But critically think for yourself and do your research, and that's what we're gonna do here, all right? And I understand the word conspiracy has some kind of negative connotation, but let's be honest, who doesn't love a good conspiracy theory, all right? So let's check it out. All right, so Dr. Umar is racist. Dr. Umar goes in on Candace Owens. Self-hating Candace Owens. King Kong consciousness, man. That's what's up, self-hating. Y'all think that Candace Owens is self-hating?
Because I know a lot of people will hear you say, well, Candace, you're speaking a lot about, you know, the black family, but then you married a white man.
Yeah,
Dr. Umar would have a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Dr. Umar?
I have heard of him. I have not listened to him, I'll be honest. What is his argument, actually, if you could just repurpose his argument?
He feels that,
Everything black.
No.
Yeah, yes, it is.
That's
everything.
facetious.
He feels black men should be with black women because when you're talking about it from an economic standpoint, you want to grow the wealth as a black family.
But that doesn't...
And if you marry somebody from another race, then, you know, your wealth will be with that person, and he doesn't like that.
I believe Candace Owens is a...
All right, wait, hold on. I got a comment on that. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was just about to be the Umar Johnson video. But to speak to that, I would 100% agree with that, okay? Now, I'm not judging nobody. People fall in love with who they fall in love with. But just understand the consequences to your decision. They're not just consequences to yourself. They're consequences to your community, to your legacy. And when you marry outside of the community, you know, some of that wealth, some of that energy, some of those resources get funneled not to your community. So, all right, Omar, what you got? Umar, what we got?
paid Negro peon. One thing you have to understand about the white power structure when you're talking about Candace Owens and Jesse Lee Peterson's. Okay, one thing you have to understand, the white power structure through the government or through the corporate structure, they find influential Negroes and they buy them out in order to change the level of consciousness in Black America. Candace Owens was sponsored by the white power structure so she could begin to dilute the Black first narrative. Candace
Is Candace Owens funded by the white power structure, as Dr. Umar says? I have some thoughts about that, y'all. Because a couple of months ago, I just was interested in Candace Owens because she's brilliant. She talks very well. She is anti-systemic racism towards Black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to agree with a person to know that. I think she's fighting on the right side of the battle. I think she's fighting on the right side of the war. And I do agree that, or I disagree with her having the right husband. I wish she would have married Kanye West, y'all. Okay, I wish that that when she met Kanye, they would have linked up, and Kanye wouldn't be walking around with his wife on a leash. I wish he would have married Candace Owens. All right, but that's not the point. All right, so let's get back into it. What is Candace Owens funded by the white power structure? Let's look into it. Candace Owens. There's some things that I think people don't realize about Candace Owens that I discovered when I was researching her. And that's what I want to share with y'all. Candace Owens' husband. I'm gonna look at the wiki in just a moment. Candace Owens' husband. George Farmer is Candace Owens' husband. All right. Now, Candace Owens' husband, John Farmer, father. This is what I found super interesting, y'all. Michael Farmer, Barone Farmer. All right. Excuse me if I'm an ignorant young man from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I can't pronounce correctly, or I'm not saying this correctly, but y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. All right. So this gentleman, Barone Farmer, let's see what's up with him. Now, this is Candace Owens' father-in-law. I want to look at his wiki page. All right. Now, if you notice on his wiki page right here, make sure I'm not covering it up, they're referring to this man as the Lord Farmer. I don't know what a farmer is. I know what the Lord is, and I never heard of a man being referred to as the Lord, but apparently he's a Lord. Apparently he's a Lord. All right, so Michael Farmer, British billionaire, former treasurer of the Conservative Party and life peer of the House of Lords. What is the House of Lords? Cancel B. Watt. Let's see. The House of Lords, okay, is the upper house of the Parliament of the United Kingdom. One of the oldest institutions in the world. Its origins lie in the early 11th century and the emergence of bicameralism. What in the world is that? I don't know, by nothing. A type of legislation that is divided into two separate assemblies, chambers, houses known as by. Okay. Okay, cool. So, what did we just learn from going down that particular rabbit hole? All right. Maybe Candace Owens is not necessarily funded by the white power structure. Maybe her father-in-law is a lord. Okay, let's see what kind of powers a lord, a person who's a lord in the House of Lords, not the house of the Lord, y'all. The House of Lords. House. Let me see. I want to see benefits of being a farmer. They're gonna think I'm talking about a farmer being in the House of Lords. Benefits of being in the House of Lords. Most members of the House of Lords do not receive a salary, permanent duties, but are eligible to receive allowances and certain limits. Are not salary, can opt to receive so much per allowance, plus travel experiences, subsidized restaurant facilities. Man, must be nice being a lord. Which house of UK has the most power? Since the Parliament Acts 1911 and 1949, the powers of the House of Lords have been much less than the House of Commons, okay? So apparently the House of Lords ain't popping like the House of Commons, but it seems to be a pretty statured position. So listen, this might explain why Candace Owens and her husband get to hang out with people like Donald Trump. I always wonder, like, how she get access to them back rooms? How you be she just be with Donald Trump? Just posted up, hanging like friends. I think they might be friends. They just be with each other. Different places, doing different things. So I'm like, how you be friends with Donald Trump? But when you consider the fact that she's married to a man, she's not married to just any white man, y'all. No, not Candace. Candace Owens is not married to just any white man. Candace Owens' husband is the son of a lord, George Farmer. Let's see what y'all got to say. People magazine has grown a large following, media part of her career. We just going down the rabbit hole, y'all. This is how I be researching. Y'all need to research and think for yourself, man. Come up to your own conclusion instead of listen to what people saying online. And that includes me. Don't believe nothing I say never. Do your research and come back to me and tell me if I'm right or wrong, if you agree or disagree, but do the work. Do the research. You dig? They ain't gonna say nothing about him. The son of Lord Michael Farmer, the founder of British trading conglomerate metal and commodity company. Lord Farmer is also a member of the House of Lords, the upper house of the United Kingdom's parliament. All right, so she not with just no any guy, y'all. Y'all keep saying that. Okay, well, Candace Owens, you married to a white guy, but listen, she not married to any white guy, and I'm not defending her being married to a white guy. What I'm saying is we just need to take in consideration that she's not married to any white guy. All right, so that was a rabbit hole. Let me go back to what Umar was saying, because he's saying that she's funded by the white power structure. This man's British or something. I'm not sure if he's white, like Caucasian American. So pretty clear what we're talking about.
Owens and Jesse Lee Peterson, these kind of Negroes, these types of Negroes are found and funded. They are found and funded in order to distract from the narrative. See, you have to understand something. Intellectual confusion is the enemy of mass organization, Brother Robert. Intellectual confusion is the enemy of mass organization. So what they love to do, they see me out here, right? So they say, okay, let's look at the black intellectual landscape. So they set back and they say, okay, we have to continue to control the narrative. Social network is making it difficult for us to control the narrative for Black America.
All right, so this is facts, right? Because we don't own any media, right? And when you don't own media, you can't control the story about yourself, right? Other people can write about you. Other people can cover you, but you can't cover yourself. You can't put out your own story. So we don't own any per se, right? Outside of hip hop, right? We don't own any magazines, newspapers, and I'm sure there's people out there with magazines and newspapers, and I hope y'all pop off and I'll support it. As long as it's quality, I'll support it. You did. We don't own any news media outlets, right? And I think that's the issue with Candace Parker right now. Candace Owens right now is that she's beefing with her media company because we don't own one. So you got to work for the people who you're speaking out against, and they're like, la. You can't speak out against me on my own platform. Would you let somebody speak out against you on a platform that you own and you fund? Would you let somebody speak out about your religion on a platform that you own and you fund? It's common sense. No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Because you have people like Dr. Umar Ifatunde, who's the leading Black radical scholar in the world for African people. We have Dr. Umar Ifatunde, who's the leading Black radical scholar, period, in the African diaspora. And then underneath him, you have all of these copycats who take his content and repeat it. So he has a whole movement, the intellectual insurrection that Dr. Umar is leading. They say, okay, we have to take away from Dr. Umar's power in the social media sector because he's getting too many views. And Black people are tuning into Dr. Umar as much as they tune into CNN. Black people are tuning into Dr. Umar as much as they tune into a Roland Martin.
Hey, is that true? I want to know, is that true? Black people, are we watching Dr. Umar as much as we're watching CNN? Is this facts or is this his inflated ego? Okay, this was about the time where I started to perceive a little jealousy from Dr. Johnson. Okay, Why are you speaking on Candace? Are you jealous of Candace Owens? Okay, a little ego seeping through right now.
Roland Martin is not as bad as a Candace Owens or a Jesse Lee Peterson, but Roland Martin is another example of a found and financed Negro. So Roland Martin doesn't push the Republican agenda. He pushes the Democrat agenda. Roland Martin doesn't push the Republican agenda. Roland Martin pushes the Democrat agenda. But whether it's Candace Owens on the Republican side or Roland Martin on the Democrat side, both sides are anti-Black independence. Both sides are anti-Black revolution.
Preach, Omar. Preach, Brother Johnson. Y'all notice that Brother Johnson always got to say things twice? Do y'all notice that Brother Johnson always got to say things twice?
Both sides are anti-African family first. So whether it's Roland Martin feeding you integration or Candace Owens feeding you integration, neither one is feeding you Pan-Africanism.
Facts.
Neither one is feeding you Pan-Africanism.
Neither one.
So the Democrats are financing Roland and the Republicans are financing Candace, okay? And both of those roads are diverting you from the road to liberation.
All right.
The road to liberation is not paved with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. The road to liberation is not paved with the Democratic Party or the Republican Party.
He said it twice again. That's how y'all know that Brother Umar Johnson means business. All right. What is he saying here? What he's saying is Jesse Lee Peterson. Look, I don't really know who he is for real. Okay, so let me just check and see who this man is just real quick. George Farmer? No, we want Jesse Lee Peterson. I've seen this guy before. Jesse Lee Peterson was the guy who did. Jesse Lee Peterson was the guy who did. He did an interview with Just Pearly Things. Yeah, I knew that was him. I'm not about to watch that, y'all. I'm not about to watch that. I'm being facetious at the moment. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. All right, so let's see who Jesse Lee Peterson. Okay, I was just playing Google. All right, he is an American conservative radio host, pastor, and broadcaster. I didn't realize he was a pastor. So God bless him. He is the founder of the Brotherhood organization. All right, and Dr. Umar Johnson is apparently accusing this gentleman of being a coon, essentially, right? Of being a bought public servant or something like that. So, okay, I got you, Dr. Umar.
Okay, so my voice, although I'm largely alone, supported by you all, is a very, very powerful voice. They're looking at most of the YouTubian struggle streamers and they're saying, well, those guys ain't doing nothing but talk about gossip, talking about each other, slandering black people, chasing celebrities, goofing off. They have no real constructive content. They have.
You know, this is facts, and this bothers me. Let me take a moment. He's right about that. This bothers me. Everybody on YouTube, especially young black YouTubers like myself, spend more time criticizing black women than we do speaking about anything that has any level of consciousness associated with it, okay? And listen, I want to talk about niggerism and the low vibrations, stuff just as much as anyone else, and I will. Okay, you will not put me in a box. But at the same time, can we talk about something else? Can we talk about something spirituality? Can we talk about God? Okay, I'm tired of talking about relationships with y'all. Every time I log on, there's relationships on YouTube. Black women this, black women not doing this. Come on, guys. So Umar, I agree with Brother Johnson about that last statement.
No real constructive content. It's all gossip and sensationalism.
Facts.
But this Dr. Umar Ifatunde guy,
Ifatunde.
So we have to intensify Candace Owens. We have to intensify Jesse Lee Peterson. We have to intensify Roland Martin. We got to intensify all the beta male Democratic plantation party pundits, because Dr. Umar is getting too powerful.
Pundits.
Right? He's getting too powerful. So to answer.
All right, guys. Once again, is Dr. Umar Johnson getting too powerful in the black community, and now he needs to be silenced? Okay, let me know if y'all agree with that assessment, or is that just a little bit of the black male ego seeping through? I want to know y'all opinion, because he might be. I don't know. And I rock with Dr. Umar Johnson. Don't get it twisted. I think he a good brother, and I support him. Although I did not donate to the building of this school, I'm happy and excited. Listen, people need to stop building schools, all right? Not Dr. Umar, but just LeBron and all. Stop building schools. If you did not have a high GPA at a high level of educational rigor, then you should not be building a school, okay? Or just donate the money and let, the priesthood or the people who got the expertise at the school building build the schools, okay? You stop building schools when you didn't graduate from high school. But we do appreciate the gesture, okay?
To your question, my brother, I don't want to drive any more of my support base to Jesse Lee Peterson's platform unless I'm getting something out of it that's going to benefit the movement. If I'm not getting something out of it to benefit the movement, it's no need for me to go on Jesse Lee Peterson's platform.
Listen, if Umar Johnson is not getting anything out of it, there's no need for him to send his loyal fan base and his loyal followers to any of y'all platform. This is to Candace Owens. This is to Jesse Lee Peterson. Just for you to be on there talking about relationships with just pearly things, okay? Omar is not supporting you on YouTube talking about relationships with just pearly things.
Rosie, you can go to the block party. You hating? I had to block you. And take that damn weave out your head and get some original hair for a change.
I don't know if I'm gonna continue watching this, y'all. I'm kind of on the fence. Is he done talking with the substance part of it, or is
coming on my damn live trying to disrespect me with a head full of hair from the Chinese store? Get your ass up out of here. Hop off the live right now. Hop your Negropean ass off the live right now. Jay Hunter, why do so many black people deny their Africanity? Good question, Brother Jay. Why do so many black people deny their Africanity?
The vibration picked up a little bit, y'all. So I will continue to indulge, Brother Johnson.
The reason why we got all these I'm not from Africa Negroes running around this country, the very simple reason we have so many I'm not from Africa Negroes, he said it
twice. He means business,
running around this country is because the white man has done a very great job traumatizing you into hating who you are. Let me say this again. The white power structure has taken 500 years and through brainwash, indoctrination, traumatization, he has convinced you that there's nothing good about being a black African. Oh. That's what this is about. That's what this is about.
Hey, y'all think I'm African? Look at me. I'm African American, y'all, which is weird to me because, well, Africa and America are kind of geographical locations. So I don't know what geographical locations have to do with my DNA linealogy. You dig? My DNA lineage. I don't know what. My parents didn't have sex in Africa. Okay? Anyways, I don't know what geographical location got to do with your DNA lineage. So y'all people who be on who be doing the DNA test and they come back with geographical locations, That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, that's not your DNA. That's a scam. All right. So, um, so, um, I'm kind of,
Convinced you that there is absolutely nothing black and African that is good, positive, progressive, or will be successful. And that's why you got Negroes talking about they Cherokee Indians, they not from Africa. You got Negroes talking about they Choctaw Indians, they not from.
he talking about me, y'all. I got Cherokee in my family. He talking about me. Look at me. I got a Mayan nose. Okay. I don't know. Dr. Umar looks African. Listen, there's a point in history where they just say you're brown as this paper bag, you're black. They didn't care about where we come from. They don't care about our history. We don't know Dr. Umar. You criticizing me for trying to find my identity that has been stolen from me. They stole it from me, Dr. I'm supposed to know. I don't know my last name. I don't know my great grandfather. What am I to do? Okay. I might be Cherokee Indian, Choctaw. I don't know. I might be from the lost and found tribe of Shabazz, Dr. Umar. I'm trying to find out. Okay. So excuse me if I'm misguided in my path. Okay. My grandma said we had Indian in our family. What you want me to do? That was passed down to me.
From Africa. You got Negroes talking about they Seminole Indians with no African blood. You got Negroes talking about they from Mexico and Canada and anywhere but Africa. Because of self-hatred. Okay?
I don't hate myself. I'm just trying to understand my identity, Dr. Umar.
Anybody has been brainwashed into thinking you're not from Africa, please go read Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. Please go read Dr. Yusuf Ben Yakinen. Please go read the books on not only they came before Columbus, African presence in early America,
Facts.
ancient African voyages to America. There's a whole library of research, real, authentic, documented research on the African voyages to America before Columbus, the African civilizations in America before Columbus, the African artifacts found in America before Columbus. It is undeniable. It is undeniable that
listen. Level of consciousness, you know what I'm saying? It's an interesting thing. This man is talking to us about Christopher Columbus, y'all. He said that black people came here before Christopher Columbus. Bro, they don't even teach that in school no more, that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Most of the stuff that they taught us in school, they don't even teach kids in school anymore because they knew that was BS. They don't teach Christopher Columbus no more. Okay?
That we were here first. We were everywhere first.
Facts.
And if you are an African in this country, you do not descend from Native Americans. You descend from Native Africans. The Native Africans from Africa populated this country before the so-called Native American crossed the Bering Strait. And it was those Asiatics who crossed the Bering Strait, came to America.
The return of the black Asiatic.
Found us here, and we interbred with the Native Americans who came across the Bering Strait from Asia, and that's how you get your modern mixed race Native American population.
All right, so he's spitting what we would call knowledge right now. He's spitting knowledge. He's dropping some gems. He's passing some information. He's building. That's what we call building. It's like the cipher, you know. We building upon thoughts. We building upon energy. You dig? But when you're building with someone, you have to maintain your ability to think for yourself. And while I do not feel like researching all of the facts that Dr. Umar Johnson just gave us, just imparted upon us, I encourage you to do that, because this video was about Candace Owens. Okay, so is Candace Owens bought? Let's do a little bit more research on Candace Owens so I can share something else that I found interesting about her. All right, so I tried to find information up on her about her upbringing, and it was difficult. It's difficult to figure out like who are Candace Owens' like parents. They like kind of mention her parents. Robert Owens, okay. Candace Owens' mother. Okay, so I don't. Candace Owens would. Okay, so it's hard to find. Sincerely, I tried. It's hard to find information really about her background. And I tried. She said her parental grandfather, Robert Owens, a Black American, was born in North Carolina, also of Caribbean American heritage through her grandmother. Nah, Candace Owens, you Black American, you African. Okay, y'all people talking about y'all come from Caribbean American. Dr. Umar, that's why he on you right now. Talking about you Caribbean American, you African. All right, so let's peep this right here. Let me scroll it down. All right, in 2007, while a 17-year-old senior in high school, Owens received 3 racial death threats, voicemail messages totaling 2 minutes from a group of white male classmates, which included the son of the then mayor and future Democratic governor, Daniel Malloy. Joshua Starr, the city's superintendent of schools, listened to the voicemail messages, and they said that they were horrendous. Owens' family sued the Stanford Board of Education in federal court, alleging that the city did not protect her rights, resulting in a $37,000 and $500,000 settlement in January 2018. All right, so what are we seeing here? We're seeing that in high school, Candace was obviously a victim of some type of racial bullying, which she took it to the court, and her family sued them people, and she got 37 bands. Not gonna front. 17, 18 years old, up 37 bands. That's nice, okay? So, a lot of people go through racial experiences all the time, but they don't get paid $38,000 for it. I would like to hear those emails and see what those kids said about Candace Owens to the tune of $38,000. His daddy was like, nah, we just gonna pay up. It don't seem like this was no under the table money. This seems like this was a court order. All right, Owens then, let me see. Right here. Owens then pursued an undergraduate degree in journalism at the University of Rhode Island. She dropped out later her junior year because of an issue with her student loans. I think she said that the other day she was having issues with her student loans. She was not lying. Candace Owens seemed Black. We just can't verify her parents and where she come from and her lineage, but she seems to have a pretty normal Black upbringing and stuff, but she got paid $38,000 for some racist stuff. But afterwards, she worked as an intern for Vogue magazine in New York. That's interesting. Candace Owens doesn't seem like the type of woman who would work for Vogue. Vogue isn't that like a feminist magazine, really? In 2012, Owens took a job as an administrative assistant for the privileged equity firm in Manhattan, later moving up to become a vice president of administration. Okay, so what are we seeing here? We're seeing that in 2017, she gets paid $38,000 as part of a racial settlement. And 5 years later, she's working as an administrative assistant at a private equity firm in Manhattan, New York. I want to know how much an administrative assistant gets paid, y'all. Okay. I want to know administrative assistant at an equity firm salary. I'm curious. At an equity firm salary. Nice. The average executive assistant. It got me all in the way, y'all. So excuse me. The average executive assistant private equity salary in the United States of America is $100,000 per year, $48 an hour. Okay. So she went from pretty much being poor. I think that's what her story was. She was poor. She was raised by her grandparents. Okay. And seems like her senior year of high school, she comes up on some money, $38,000, goes out to New York, starts kicking it at Vogue and working at Vogue magazine, and then bam, she gets $100,000 job to be an administrative assistant at a private equity firm. Okay, those are the type of things that get you rubbing shoulders with Republicans. All right, those are the kind of gigs that get you late night dinners with the president, maybe not. Okay, so I don't know if Candace Owens is funded by white people in America, but she definitely funded by a higher power structure. Okay, that's obvious. Mostly her message has been positive from what I could tell. I mean, I don't agree or disagree with everything she says. It's not my place to. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? But black people do, and y'all don't like her. And Umar Johnson doesn't like Candace Owens. All right? So I'm interested to know what y'all think, really. You know, I showed y'all a little bit of how I would do some of my research. That's lightweight research. I probably go deeper in the rabbit hole normally than that. But, you know, we found out a little bit something. So if you learned something, make sure that you go to www.cancelby.com. Sign up with me there. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. You dig? And build with your boy, right? We learned building today. That's your word of the day. Build. Not physical building. Remember, mental building. On thoughts, ideas, sharing energy, collaborating. I say something and you build on the next thought. I know I'm technical. All right. But anyways, listen, like, subscribe. Tune in again to another episode of Cancel Be Watt.